Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. So, while exploring the question of whether my getting sunburns was indicative of dangerous levels of radiation or something, I've done a bunch of different research and it's totally blown my mind. It's connected things and pieces and people and stuff and synchronicities, and it's just absolutely been really incredible, like 48 hours for me. But it's provoked a lot of really interesting questions. When you look at this medical information from AAV encounters, um, and that information about the brain damage to a bunch of people, and that there's this specific area within the research group, within the subgroup of this research group that is called a psychic subgroup. And in that subgroup, they noticed this anomaly in I believe it's the right occipital lobe. But anyway, in the exploration of that, and also the exploration of this Persinger's God helmet, which you guys can do your own research on, found out some really interesting things and just provoked a bunch of really fascinating questions. I just want to share those questions with you guys and see what you think. Okay, so here's a bunch of these questions. One, does my close contact mean I should get cancer screenings and MRIs to see if I have this unexplained bright objects or whatever that they've detected in the brain? Does it mean that a real psychic zone has been detected in the brain? This would be stunning information. If that is true, it would be stunning information for society. They're also talking about genetic markers that mark every single major event in your life, or even small events like getting a cold, and that there's either damage to a DNA or there's some genetic markers of all of this stuff. So if we have genetic markers of every event in our lives, those genetic markers could be passed on to future generations. And can that explain or prove genetic memory? Instinct, for example, in animals who build incredibly complex nests that they've never seen created that way before, or incredibly elaborate mating rituals that they've never seen before, or other incredibly complex behavior that animals seem to display. Is that proof now for the genetic memory? Another question that comes up is, are these AAVs damaging that specific area of the brain to create these psi ability increases? Or is that just a repercussion, accidental? There is a little speculation. I believe it's one person within the group believes that brains are being specifically targeted with gamma rays because the gamma ray damage isn't as prevalent to other places. Is that true? Are they literally targeting brains? Is it a scan? Maybe they're just scanning brains at a very high resolution level, and that's what's causing the damage. In order to read thoughts, maybe they're scanning using gamma rays. Is that possible? Is the government trying to recreate a device that mimics this increase or improves the average person's natural ability? Where are all these medical reports of the military personnel who received AAV damage? And what were they doing? Why were they doing it? Can we correlate that exact type of damage to a certain type of radiation and at a certain frequency even? And can that information give us a deeper understanding into the physics behind the propulsion, power, and anti-gravity systems of these craft? I bet it would. Which repeat locations are these outdoor special forces being stationed at? I think we know, don't we, gang? I think we know quite a few of those locations, nationally and internationally. Here's an important question. Is there a correlation to the Cuban embassy microwave attacks and the China embassy microwave, millimeter wave attacks, gamma ray attacks. These symptoms are very, very similar, but we haven't seen the brain scans of all of those people yet. If they have UBOs, there could be something much deeper going on here, gang. Is the government of China or Russia experimenting with a weapon? I think we can definitely say yes. Is it conceivable that could a satellite send focused high millimeter waves and gamma rays that could produce these effects in a localized area? It seems very fanciful to me. Now, there's this thing called Pershing's God helmet, and it's real. And a lot of high-end people are endorsing its ability to do a lot of different things, from God experiences to out-of-body experiences to, with the right programming, apparently a real increase in psychic abilities. I know that just sounds so fanciful just saying it, especially if you haven't done the research about this stuff and seen that the government has spent millions and millions on it and then basically believes in the power. And so do so many top scientists. This is a really amazing thing, the Pershing's God helmet. Very, very fascinating. And finally, is this brain damage that's kind of like the Pershing's God helmet, is it caused by the sightings? Excuse me, is the brain damage causing the sightings? You know, people have God experiences with the helmet. Maybe they're getting exposed to these high millimeter waves or gamma rays by some sort of weapon, and that's giving them these experiences, these UFO experiences. Or is it the other way around? Are the sightings causing the brain damage? Which is causing which? It's a lot of interesting things, gang, and tentacles in this whole thing spread many different directions and notions. There's a lot of different real damage from AAVs that happen in close proximity. But what do you guys think about all these questions? A lot of interesting questions in here. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Much love to you and yours.